Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of What CD is Rob listening to now? And now we go back to 1992 and the first album from Shadow Gallery. Shadow Gallery is a progressive metal band from Pennsylvania. They were one of the many bands signed to the Magna Carta label that were releasing some truly amazing progressive rock music in the early to mid 90s and even later into the 90s. And while the album wasn't as big as Dream Theater's label, the label wasn't as big as Dream Theater's label, thus branding many of these bands as Dream Theater clones, Shadow Gallery was one of the best of the bunch and had a sound all their own. The album kicks off with Dance of Fools. It's a 7+ minute progger kicking off with some keys, guitar, and drums. It feels immediately like an epic intro to what is sure to be one hell of a great tune. When the vocals kick in, they're delivered by the almost operatic, beautiful voice of Mike Baker. Rest in peace. There are some great melodies on this track. The drums are a bit lacking in places, as sound a bit, programmed, especially the cymbals. But that doesn't really detract from how fantastic this tune is. With some great instrumental runs led by an amazing keyboard guitar section, this tune is one hell of an introduction to Shadow Gallery. Darktown is a 9-minute progressive rock powerhouse. The keyboard-driven intro sets such a creepy vibe before the full band join in and even pull some Jethro Tull-like flute out. After the hard-rocking intro, we settle into a vocal section that is propelled forward by some keys that sound a bit like a harpsichord, I believe. Once again, the vocals have an almost operatic sort of feel that Mike Baker would definitely get better with that on each album. And when the tune picks up pace, it takes on a sort of 70s hard rock mixed with modern prog rock vibe. This tune ends up being one killer song. There's a truly awesome instrumental section on the last half of the track that just feels so epic and is a prime example of just how talented these musicians are. Comparisons to Dream Theater are definitely not unwarranted here. Mystified kicks off with an almost Mr. Crowley vibe to me. It definitely sounds, with the keyboards and the guitar bringing in the song, it sounds like Mr. Crowley a bit to me, the Ozzy song. It's possibly the best track on the disc. After the intro, a short musical interlude asserts the melody before the vocals kick in. This song is almost hauntingly beautiful. The vocals meld perfectly with the keys, and the playing is just masterful as the band delivers 7 minutes of near-perfect melodic prog rock. The vocals in the chorus in particular are just phenomenal. Questions at Hand feels more like an 80s hard rock, almost hair metal style tune with keyboards than a full-blown prog song. Once again, the vocals are delivered in that soaring, almost operatic style. The music is heavy, fast-paced, the guitars are fast and almost shred at times, and there are plenty of fast drum parts that really make this tune rock. And then at about the 2.5 minute mark, the song does a complete 360 and is an acoustic-driven track before finishing as the hard rock song it began as. The final hour, at just over 4 minutes, is the shortest track on the album. This one feels like a hard rock progressive tune with brief moments of heading towards ballad before the bombast kicks back in. There's some killer keyboard and guitar work on this one, as well as the amazing vocals that Shadow Gallery were definitely known for. This one is definitely a scorcher and really kicks some serious ass. Say Goodbye to the Morning is one hell of an epic prog rock punch. See the back here, packed into nearly 7 minutes of keyboard and guitar driven madness. This tune feels almost symphonic and is a bit unlike the rest of the album at times. The flute comes back for this tune with some piano to mellow out the bombast intro section of the tune. The vocals kick in over that pretty keyboard sound with some pretty piano to help propel the song forward. This one goes through many different mood changes, even a bit of a 70s hard rock band sound, and makes up another phenomenal tune for this album. Band photos. I'm trying to show more of the CD here. The remainder of the album is devoted to the 17+ minute epic song, The Queen of the City of Ice. Looking at the length of the track, I always assumed that this tune would be my favorite song on the album, but though I love it, it's not my favorite. The song starts off with some keys and a very pretty melody on the guitar. The vocal melody kicks in with much promise. After about 5 minutes, the drums kick in, but the pace doesn't really pick up much. At the 8-minute mark, the song does change direction for a bit and finally picks up into a more rocking tune. It's not that it's a bad song, in fact, I love it, but it never quite becomes the progressive rock epic that I kind of want it to be. There's some great vocal melodies and a good 2-minute rock section, but it's just not the brilliance that the band was capable of. It's sort of just narrating a story. You don't get as many vocals as I want. It's a great song, The Queen of the City of Ice, but it's not my favorite on the album. Anyway, this is a fantastic album, and they would follow it up with an album called Carved in Stone, which is just phenomenal. But we'll talk more about that next time. Until then, doodles.